got it.
Did you get it?
Okay. I hit it.
Are we on?
Yes.
Are we live?
Are we live? Is this thing on?
What's this button do? Mobius, are you there? You're cute. Are we being broadcast?
Yes, we are. I did start streaming. We are live, Avicious.
I did that on purpose. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Debuffed, Gaming News Dispelled. We did change the name. It's a great name. Thank you, Thalen.
Thank you, Thalen.
We brainstormed one night the other night, right, Tracy? About, I'm sorry, Nyonya? We do that every broadcast, I think.
We do. Everybody knows my name.
Huh. Anyway, we're trying to use handles. I'm sure we'll get better at that. I'm Avicious. This is Nyonya, obviously, with the Orin ears. And we have two very, very special guests with us tonight. We have Creed, the EXO of the Dominion Guild. Say hi, Creed.
How you doing, guys?
And we are going to announce for everybody tonight, Strieg has been promoted to the executive officer for the WildStar Exile Guild. So congratulations, Strieg.
Congrats, Strieg. Heck yeah.
Thank you.
Two really, really great people we have here, guys. So awesome. Let's talk a little bit about WildStar Wednesday, guys. So, 30,000 beta invites for a stress test. Now, we can't say if we're in or not, okay? And we're not going to, because we don't want to violate that. But, I have to throw the question out there. What do you think this indicates? 30,000 people for another stress test. We had more than one. Are we getting close to a bigger beta? Are we getting close to... What do you think, Tracy? Nyonya.
Well, obviously...
Nyonya.
Obviously, they are expanding. They're getting a little more ambitious to see how much their servers can handle, which obviously to me seems like they're getting a little bit closer to a larger beta. I think after this 30,000, if indeed that many people are going to overload these servers, if they break, they'll know how to fix them. They will fix them, they'll go back in, and then I believe they will probably open up more slots for permanent beta testers. Thinking positively, I still foresee that this game will be released in 2013 as they have targeted. I hope, I pray, please. So I'm excited. It's good news. What do you think, Creed?
30,000 people. That's a lot of people. There must be putting a lot of emphasis on how well the server's going to run. Maybe they'll raise it up a couple levels, let people go into new zones, try some new stuff. And I'm with you. I think that the release is very near. I hope it's going to be, from when I'm in November-ish. That'll be exciting.
Awesome.
Yeah, and to me that tells me when you're doing a large stress test like that, 30,000 people, you're stress testing the servers, meaning you're ready to bring on more people to test even bigger functions like perhaps raid functions, which they've talked about several months ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, we'll see what happens. We can't say whether we're in or we're not, but whoever's in, have fun, give them your best feedback.
Break it.
Remember? Break it, exactly. Breaking it is the most important part for that one. So.
That's the biggest problem that a lot of these games had in the past was, everybody trying to log in at one time, and that's where they always failed. So let's go ahead and get the bugs out. Everybody trying to get in at one time, and everyone can get in smoothly. That'd be awesome if they could do that.
That would be awesome, because I've been in games where, the game launches and you log in, and then you wait like 3 or 4 hours, and then yay, you're finally in.
Nothing would happen. The screen would be blank, and then you'd be waiting.
Yep. So they're working that stuff out, I would hope. Right, Avicious?
Yeah, well, I don't think they're going to have any problem getting that many people in there. It's a pretty popular game.
Mm-hmm.
So, moving right along. See what else we got on here? You guys see me?
Nope.
See me now?
Yep.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. Got it?
Yep. Okay.
The lore. Strieg, did you get a chance to read the lore? Well, I know you guys did.
I did. Absolutely.
Mondo Zax, Chua. I know you're not a big fan of the Chua being exiles. You know, I was reading it, and I really like what they did with it because they kind of give you a sense of sympathy, perhaps empathy for these characters, given the rough stages that they've gone through. So we start with Mondo Zax here, the Chua, the lore, with that.
He's evil.
And Nyonya, I know you're not going to like him. But
No.
Creed, I know this might sound okay to you, being Dominion. I watched it and I couldn't help feeling bad. It's the Chua, he grows up, he's abused by his siblings, right? He's trying to always compete for the spotlight and stuff like that. His father is vaporized amidst the family rivalry. Amidst the familial, say that 10 times fast, rivalry. His father's vaporized, okay? Extremely sad. I mean, this kid's orphan now, right?
Right?
Mysteriously, right.
Whatever.
You know, one could speculate that might have been a fight, right?
All evidence was eliminated.
So, he's orphaned. And try to make this as dramatic as possible. He makes something of his life and becomes one of the top engineers for the Dominion, which I thought was really neat. I mean, you have someone that went from 0 to 100, and he's a gremlin. I mean, how many gremlins do you know? One. How many gremlins do you know that can do that?
Don't get him wet. Just saying.
Don't
Exactly.
beat him at midnight.
No.
Yeah.
He's not a very good family guy, that's for sure. He had to eliminate everybody to be number one and get the attention he needed and to start his own research and build weapons of mass destruction.
Exactly. That's why he is evil. And you were like, oh, poor Mondo. I feel so bad for him because he was picked on and he was abused. No.
I mean, come on. The guy's name is Mondo Zax, and he was picked on by somebody named Finkelblurg. I mean, wouldn't you be ornery if you had names like that too?
He's evil. He just wants to kill everybody. He just wants to build these big, massive weapons and watch people die. Like, why do you feel bad for him? He's a rat. He just wants to destroy stuff. Just
Killed all my siblings,
just
killed
like
my
Creed.
father, all in accidents.
Right?
The minions are like, hey, I like you.
Poor Mondo. Poor Mondo.
Creed, I'm sensing a little propaganda here. I mean, what do you have to say about that? I mean, we have exiles teaming up on us here. Are we being mislabeled? Like, what's going on?
Enjoy it while you can. There will be many little Mondos running around.
And we will be punting them across the world. It's quite all right.
I still think they'll be crawling up your back and standing on your shoulder, whack you in the head with a skillet.
I'll tie them up with my tail and swing them around my head, and it's all good.
I'm sure they'll be the first nerf in the game.
No, but seriously, in all seriousness, I think the backstory and the lore with Mondo Zax is written very well. I really, really do like it. I mean, all kidding aside, excellent job with that backstory.
Yeah, they did a really good job. Mm-hmm. And I'm liking the fact that they're not making Dominion evil, per se. They're more of a evil race, but they're not evil. Because that's like, well, okay, you take EQ lore. Kinos, or Freeport's not really evil. Some would argue that Freeport was more moral than Kinos, right? But we're getting off topic. Okay. More dash backstory. Victor, we had this debate before the video cast. Victor Lazarin.
Lazarin.
The guy.
Victor Lazarin.
The guy.
The Mordash.
The guy who made the bad stuff. Yeah. Victor.
Okay.
But with the best of intentions.
He wanted to live forever, I understand.
You know?
But Creed, you might say that...
Save his bride.
Yeah.
Hey, instead of messing with this family, he tried to mess with the entire civilization. That's a little bit worse.
Yeah. I'm kind of with you there. I mean, it might have, he says, he may make it out like he had good intentions, right? But did he? I mean, wanting immortality, doesn't that make you a superior race?
Then he could be with Mina forever and ever and ever, and he'd never lose
his poor wife Mina died. He felt bad. He wanted to make sure his daughter Lucy lived forever.
Lucy.
I mean, it wasn't like that crazy little rat that just says, hey, give me all the attention so I'm going to kill everybody, I mean, so he made a mistake. He's making up for it. We'll let him go.
Okay.
That's what
so here's the backstory. Here's the backstory.
But
And I think I missed a couple.
yeah,
go
I
ahead,
did
go ahead.
too. I missed too. I was all confused there. Mina had died. For some reason, I didn't realize she had died. I thought she was dying.
She died giving birth to Lucy.
Yes, I know. I don't read well. I did not comprehend. But anyway,
Just makes you sad.
no-
it does. But the thing is, like, he was just trying to save his daughter, and it messed up. But you know, he's trying to fix it. I mean, he's got a good heart. That's the thing. Where Mondo just wants to kill everything. You know, Victor is like, I gotta fix this. I have to make it better.
Do you think Mondo really wants to kill everything?
Yes.
How do you know he's not like just labeled evil? People think he's evil, but maybe he's not. Maybe he has a good heart.
He just wanted to give himself eternal life. He wanted everybody else to die. See, he's only looking out for himself.
He gave it.
Propaganda.
Thought he succeeded. Gave it to all of his, his kin and everything, and the whole Mordash population, thinking, "Hey, I've done a great thing," and it backfired on him. But
he's trying to
he stopped
fix
it.
it.
Hey,
Yeah.
now they look cooler than ever. I mean,
Yeah.
come on, little undead people with all sorts of cyborg stuff. I mean, hey, turned out perfect.
Well, here's the backstory. Let's go over the backstory for the people that are listening and haven't read it, whatever. We have Victor Lazarin, which I think Lazarin is kind of a parallel to Lazarus. Being undead, rising from the dead, that kind of thing. Just my opinion. But anyway, he's the Mordash, exile side, okay? Also a sad backstory. He's trying to do good, right? Like you guys said, he's trying to construct this elixir for immortality for his own race, which I question a little bit. So that he tries it, starts working, but then it backfires, right? He unleashes this horrible contagion on his entire race, which is kind of the backstory of the Mordash, I would assume, of having this grotesque, figure, face, undead type of feel to it. So that's all going south. They don't think they have any time to live. Everyone's going to turn, right? Kind of a zombie. And then they find a remedy to stave that off for a while. And that's kind of where the story leaves off, it looks like. So, yeah, I guess you might be able to argue that he was trying to do a good thing. You might be able to argue that.
He was. I mean,
We'll see.
it's a little crazy scientist-y, of course, but ultimately he wasn't trying to create something to destroy anything. He was trying to create to save, to
Yeah.
where Mondo's out there, he's like, man, I'm going to make this weapon and I'm going to kill everything. Like, he just wants to destroy stuff. Totally different backgrounds.
Creed, we should meet them at the flagpole at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Sort this all out.
I might be accidentally vaporized.
Oh! And my arm might fall off. But we can get a cyborg arm.
Oh
It'll
my
be good.
goodness. Anyway, moving on. WildStar, it is good. It's good stuff. I'm excited to hear more. On a serious note, I think they're good. I mean, just like anything else with this game, they're doing an incredible job.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, Strieg, congratulations, man.
Oh, thanks.
EXO of the Exile Guild. This is the most anticipated guild right now in Grievance. So huge congratulations. Obviously, I've thought you've done a great job ever since you started. Can you give us actually first, what are you looking forward to the most about WildStar?
Raids. Hand down raids. I have been missing it. The last several MMOs that have come out, they're trying new things. Some of them I really like. They've gone through some phases of like mass scale PvP stuff, which is great. I love it, love to play it, but it's a nice like adder, not a replacement for raids. So with WildStar coming out with raids and the war plots, I mean, come on, you build your own cities, get your little raid boss mob in there, and then do like a raid version of PvP. I mean, that whole giant mass grouping, especially for a guild like ours, the size of ours, I'm drooling for these raids. And a very close second is housing.
Yay!
I'm a big fan of housing, so I always felt that my characters, when I logged off, I wanted to think, hey, he's going to go sit on his couch and pop a beer and have have a chew-up steak or something, But these games without housing, you just kind of log off. You log on 2 days later, and your dude's still sitting at a bus stop waiting. It just left some immersion. So
Yeah.
I really like housing, and the fact that they're taking the housing another step farther and adding in content like raid portals and buffs and what they have, like crafting stations, and
Ferris wheels.
actually usable stuff. Ferris wheels, if
Toilets.
that's your thing. Hey.
Yeah.
It's just fantastic. They're going really deep with it, and I would have been happy with just regular housing, but they're taking it another step farther, and I'm very excited between those two.
The housing, and we've tweeted this to the devs. We've had a conversation with a couple different devs, correct, Nyonya?
Oh yeah.
Within Grievance. One thing I always think is housing is such a great way to appeal to both sexes. Females and males alike both like the idea of housing. And we express that to them too. And then you can't go wrong there. It appeals to both sexes. And as females become a more prevalent part of the gaming community, like Gamer Girls of Grievance, it's so
Go
important
girls.
to be able
Oh,
to...
heck yeah.
Still trying to get in, by the way.
Gotta get your wig. Gotta get your wig.
Oh, what has gone from a joke is actually starting to carry a little bit of substance, and I'm getting a little worried, honestly. So I think they're starting to get serious. Anyway. Strieg, a brief history. You joined us for Neverwinter.
Star
correct?
Wars.
Star Wars, I'm sorry.
Star Wars, the Old Republic. Yes, I got into Grievance during the beta just before it go live, so I started there. Went from there.
You were an officer, right?
No, not for SWTOR.
Oh, okay.
I was just loving the game and doing a little bit of raiding. Guild Wars 2 came out. I hopped over to Guild Wars 2. Thought, it's got that fantasy theme to it, and I thought it was going to be huge. I did some beta, did the world versus world, and thought, wow, this is really cool. I like this concept of seeing all these people on the screen fighting at one time. But again, no raids, and it just really didn't do it for me. So I did stumble eventually into Neverwinter, which went in there as a task leader, as an officer, and did that for a while. But just like all the other new games that are coming out, you start the game, you blink an eye, blink, you're max level, then you create an alt and you max them out, and the game was fun. I loved it. The action combat, it was very addictive. It was a lot of fun. But again, no end game content, no raiding, nothing to do once you hit that max level, which of course you hit way too soon. So I tried Dragon's Prophet, I guess, but ultimately I've just been sitting on the edge of my seat waiting for WildStar, waiting for those big raids.
Mm-hmm. I remember you were in one of our podcasts before we went video. You were in our Neverwinter one, I believe.
Yes.
So.
Yes, I was.
It's good to have you on board, man. Definitely a well-deserved position. Very friendly character. Ever since you've been here, you've made a lot of friends very, very easily. So congratulations once again on that.
But he cheats at worms, so...
Yeah.
He does. Oh, that's what I was going to say.
The worms.
I had a nickname written down here in my notes. It said Strieg, a.k.a. Worms King.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're kind of
hardly.
becoming the person to beat.
No,
It's so much fun. So you guys need
I got
something
the
to play,
little
by the way.
harpoony thing down. I swing really good, but that's about it. Other than that, give me something to
Indiana
throw.
Jones.
I'll probably just bounce off and hit myself in the head with it. But it's fun. It's fun. I gotta love it.
Yeah, it's a good game. So if anybody ever gets bored waiting for WildStar, you can't find a game to stick to, come talk to us. We'll get you involved in Worms. And it's a good game. So, moving along. Creed, recently promoted to Dominion Executive Officer. And you coming from Star Wars, correct?
I came from Star Wars: The Old Republic. Yep,
And you were also XO over there, correct?
I was, and a recruiting officer.
And
So,
recruiting officer.
Had it kind of rough over there. It was rough getting some players over there on the Imperial side because it didn't seem like a very popular side to play.
Okay.
So, and I'm a picky recruiting officer anyway, so I just don't see anybody. You have to be a certain kind of person to be on a proper imperial.
Right. Well, you know the personalities here, man. I mean, it's pretty easy to get along with people in grievance. So.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. I've said it 100 times, if not 1,000, that even if I was in a game I didn't particularly enjoy, if being in grievance, this made all the difference in the world. You know, staying in Star Wars as long as I did, which has probably been over a year and a half now. And I don't think I've ever been in a guild for a year. Next month will be a year for me in grievance.
Yay.
So it's been really nice over here.
That's nice
Really
to
awesome,
hear.
man.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
So we have two very, very, very competent, very friendly executive officers here for our Exile and Dominion guilds. You know, and if you haven't seen our podcast or video cast yet, Soul Guardian, our Exile, he's been on here, Exile guild leader, and Cannon, our Dominion guild leader, has also been on here, and they're still selecting officers for that. So be prepared to see more people on here. Anyway, so Creed, what are you looking forward to the most about WildStar?
Street covered it. Raids, that's something that I'm looking forward to. 40-man raids, that's going to be incredible. 40 people means that there's going to be a raid leader that's just going to be going absolutely nuts, trying to get everybody in place and making sure everyone's doing what they're supposed to be doing. The fun part of this is when we're still new to the game, how much we're going to probably fail and just laugh at ourselves. And that's what's fun about learning a game, is doing a lot of failing first and then, polishing it up. The housing, I'm excited about the housing too. I was a huge house nut in SWG, and I did all the decorating and all that stuff. So that's going to be exciting.
Awesome. Well, again, congratulations for being promoted to that position. Again, well deserved, completely well deserved.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah,
As
good job, guys.
Street said, I was caught completely off surprise. I called Steele about some other issue, called him on the phone. All of a sudden, just threw it out there.
Sounds like Steeler. He's
sneaky
good
son
like
of a
that.
gun,
He
isn't he?
really is. He really is.
All right, what side
Oh,
are you?
look.
I don't know yet.
Look at that over there. Hey.
How you
Gotcha.
Minion side. Well, it took me about a day to decide that I was definitely going to do it.
Cool. Awesome, guys. Nyonya, how about you? You probably already said it about 10 times.
Oh my goodness.
What are you
Everything,
looking forward to?
for the most, like, the biggest thing with me is playing a game with my friends. Everybody in Grievance seems to be gravitating towards WildStar. Right now, we're kind of all bouncing all over the place. You know, we might be playing Guild Wars one night, WildStar the next night. Not WildStar, oh my goodness.
You wish.
Freudian slip. Worms, we play Worms every night together, but I can't wait to go into a game where we have a huge presence again. You know, not that we don't have huge presence in other games, but I think WildStar is going to be really big. And
Wait. Huge presents as in gifts?
Please? Plushies.
Oh.
For my bed in my house. But anyway, I'm really looking forward to the Shua doorstops will work, definitely. The rating, absolutely. I haven't rated in a long, long time, and I am very, very much looking forward to it. I know it's going to be a huge feat to get up there to progress to the 40-man raids, but I think Grievance is full of very talented gamers, and there's a kitty behind you. But I think we will get there. We'll get there, and I know they've done the progression. What I've heard is you've got your 5-man, you've got your heroics, you've got your your 20-man raids, I believe. That may have a different difficulty, but what I foresee happening is we're probably going to have a couple 20-man groups running, and everybody's going to have to progress through there, and eventually we're going to get to the 40, which is the way it should be. Like, we're not all going to hurry up and get to the max level and then, grind a couple dungeons for a few weeks and be like, oh, yeah, I can go in the raid. Like,
Could you imagine just being thrown into a 40-man raid? Like, that's...
And the way they have it,
insane.
what I've seen is they say the bosses are going to be randomized. I'm assuming that the bosses are going to basically do the same, they'll have the same mechanics, like but you don't know when they're going to do it. Like other games that I've played, it's all right. 30 seconds into the fight, just make sure everybody's on the right-hand side of the room because he's going to, throw this over to the left-hand side of the room, and it's so boring. And then what makes that even more frustrating is, you've got Mr. ADD or whatever who can't ever get over to the right-hand side of the room, and he just keeps dying and dying and dying. Like,
Leroy Jenkins.
But I think that mixing the bosses up, I think will make it very challenging, frustrating at times, but I think it's going to be pretty funny because
Absolutely.
We're not going to know what's coming. So I think we're all going to have a level head, and we're all going to have to just go in there to have fun because it's not going to be easy. But we will
And
get
a
through
good,
there.
solid raid leaders.
Yes, I'm.
Yes.
I can't wait to raid. That's my biggest.
Feel
thing.
sorry for them already.
And housing and roommates. I gotta have roommates.
And
I
Grievance
do.
has very competent raid forces here.
We
We
do.
have a competent raid force EQ2, Star Wars. Even though Guild Wars doesn't do raiding, we have a competent force there with World versus World and everything. So, some of us are bouncing around games right now, and we do have a lot of very committed people to games too. So, anyway, well, guys, this has been fun. Thank you very, very much for joining us, Creed, Dominion ex-executive officer.
Woo.
Thank you very much, Strieg, Exile executive officer. Thank you very much for joining us, and as always, Nyonya with your awesome ears. By the way, say hi to your cat for us. He made an appearance. Creed. So, Sunday, guys, Debuffed.
Sunday.
We'll be doing the regular newscast at 7 Central, 8 Eastern.
Yep.
So stay tuned for that. And until then, have a great night, everybody. This is Debuffed, Gaming News Dispelled. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks for watching.
Night.